What's poppin', dogs? Mr. Allen here with a pretty dope circle problem for you guys. We've got in circle D, that's the center is D. The measure of angle C is 38 degrees. I'll just go ahead and mark that right now. Boom, 38 degrees. AB is 5 inches, so this is 5 inches. And we want to find the area of circle D. Well, in order to find the area of a circle, I'm going to go ahead and jot down my area formula. I'm going to need that radius, right? I need a radius of the circle in order to calculate the area of said circle, or the circumference of the circle. I'd still need the radius or diameter. How do I do that? Well, if you look closely here, AC is a diameter because it goes through the center of that circle. Now, any triangle that is inscribed in a semicircle is a right triangle. And if you're like, bro, what? Magic? Huh? How did you know that? Check this out. This is 180 degrees. This arc right here is 180 degrees. It is halfway around the circle because we have a diameter here. Angle B is on the circle. And on angles are half the measure of the intercepted arc. So that's going to be 90 degrees. Half of 180 is 90. Dope. No matter where B is, anywhere on here, if it's inscribed in a semicircle, it's a right angle. So now I have a right triangle, which we can math with, right? We always try to math with right triangles. It's our most advantageous shape, honestly, when it comes to geometry, okay? So right angle. I got an angle. I've got a side. I want my radius, but perhaps for the moment, we'll settle with the diameter, right? Because then I can just cut that in half. How do I do that? Well, if I have an angle and a side, I can use some trig. We're going to get tricky with it on this one to find that missing length. So let's set up a trig equation here, and I'm going to do so, how about right over here, okay? So we have, let's see here, relative to this angle, I've got my opposite side. I want my hypotenuse, opposite hypotenuse, that's sine, right? So we're going to do sine of my angle, which is 38 degrees, equals my opposite, which is 5, over my hypotenuse, which is D. Now I'll multiply by D on both sides. Cancels those. And now I'm left with D, my diameter, times the sine of 38 equals 5. And if you remember from trig, I know that some of you are like, oh man, it's been a little while since I've done some trig. Sine of 38 is just a number. And if it's just a number, I can divide by said number. It's a terrible decimal. I don't know what it is. That's why I got my calculator, bro. I'm going to divide by sine of 38 on both sides. And this right here is what I'm going to plug into my calculator to get whatever my diameter is. So let's do that. In the calculator, I'm going to do 5 divided by sine of 38. And you always want to double check that you are in the correct mode. So mode, notice how I am currently in degree mode. If you had a different answer than me, it's likely highlighted on radian right now. Just arrow over to degree, hit enter, hit second mode to quit back to your home screen. You can just hit enter and it will recalculate it. So that is my diameter. So 8.12 and change equals 8.121. Anytime I am still mathing, I put the dot, dot, dot there and be like, hey, I'm still thinking about you, number, right? The dot, dot, dot. YOLO, you only round once, okay? So I want to be accurate with my answers. I'm not going to round yet. I'm not done mathing. Round at the end. If that's my diameter, how do I get my radius? Let's divide it by 2. Boom. So my radius now, and I'll put that in pink, we get 4.060 and change. R equals 4.060 and change. Dot, dot, dot. Still doing math with it. Still thinking about that number. But now I can plug it into my area formula, pi times 4.060 dot, dot, dot squared. I even write it out like that in my work because I'm like, hey, I'm just using this number that's in my calculator. So you can either type it in as, you could just hit the squared button and then times pi, like this. That works. You can also do pi, second caret is pi, and then arrow up, copy this guy down, and square it. Cool. And it might even look more pretty if you do pi times, and then arrow up to that guy, highlight it, copy, paste. It's kind of a nice feature. If you didn't know that, now you do. Arrow up, highlight whatever you want, hit enter, it copies it down. So you can be very accurate with your mathematics. And only round once. YOLO, you only round once for mathematical accuracy. There we go. I've got the same answer 3 times. It must be the answer. That is my area. So let's jot that down here. Area of this circle equals 51.8019. So we'll say 51.8 inches squared. That is my final answer, and that is why I'm finally rounding at the end, only once, for mathematical accuracy. How many times have I said that now? Quite a few. But there we go, guys. Found the area of my circle, given what didn't seem like enough information, but the key there is that a triangle that is inscribed in a semicircle is always a right triangle. It's kind of dope. Have a wonderful day, guys, and thanks for watching it, as always.